Hey everyone, Zion over here from Nintendo Life. Now, I just got done watching the latest Nintendo Direct all about Mario Kart World. Felix and I watched it live with you all on our channel, and then Alex jumped in and joined us, and we had a big discussion all about it. And while it didn't feel like they showed off a ton of new stuff, the discussion and the Direct in general left me feeling quite a bit more excited about exploring the actual world itself, especially now that we're given this new tool set of moves. And that got me thinking, Mario Kart has always been known as a racing game or a kart racer. I don't know what else you would call it. But now with these new abilities, should we be calling this a platformer? You probably think I'm crazy, but hold on a second. Past Mario Kart games always let you hop so you could get into a position to drift. Sometimes you could use them to hop over a little tiny gap. You couldn't really jump. Unless if you were going over a ramp, then I suppose you could leap long distances that way. In some Mario Kart games, there have been the feather, which we'll talk about more. But now in Mario Kart World, you have something called the charge jump, which by holding down the drift button and driving straight, your tires quickly hop into a stance mode. You're super low to the ground, and you'll see blue flames around your vehicle. And by releasing the button, then you'll be able to just jump in the air, which allows you to do a number of things. You can grind on rails easier, which is also a crazy thing. Seeing you be able to jump on rails and hop back and forth between them is so Sonic Adventure 2. If you're also facing a wall, you can charge jump onto a wall and wall ride, much like in a Sonic game. It's basically like wall jumping in a 2D or 3D Mario game. It's going to allow you to find secret areas, shortcuts, and also can save you if you fall off of the map. That's one of the craziest things to me is now if you jump off of a map on accident, it might not necessarily mean game over and that you have to start back further on the track. You actually might be able to land on the side of a map and wall ride for a bit and get back onto the track depending on where you're racing. And even in the trailer, they say you may discover some unexpected routes, and they show Mario then jumping onto a rail. And then we also have the return of the feather, which allows you to just straight up jump in the air. We saw this in Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but it was only in the battle mode, and it let you hop in the air just slightly, and then you could steal items from other players. Now, we don't know if it's going to allow you to do that in Mario Kart World, but you can jump so much higher than you could in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or even back in the Super Nintendo Mario Kart game. Now, like most kids, when I was young, I only had a set amount of video games, and when I really loved something, or when I found something that really captured my attention and imagination, I would play it like crazy. I remember when I would play Halo 2 with friends, we became really obsessed for a while with trying to get out of the world map. We would do the bungee jumping, or the sword canceling, or the rocket bouncing, all of these crazy things to try and just get ourselves out of the map and into areas that we weren't supposed to be. And this new world in Mario Kart World looks ripe with potential for that. And with things like the feather, the charge jumping, the rail grinding, and the wall riding, I feel like it's going to be maybe not so easy, but there's going to be a lot of potential to look over in the distance and see a cliff or a tree or the top of Yoshi's burger stand. And I could see myself becoming so easily obsessed with the idea of getting on top of these different places. And then when I'm playing in free roam with friends, I want them to see me and be like, how did you get up there? And then, explain and go through the process of just seeing if we can all get up to this place together, even if there's nothing up there, even if there's not like an item or a coin or something. But what if there was? What if Nintendo has snuck coins all over the world for you to collect? Now, when it comes to the feather, one thing I was a little worried about is that maybe the feather won't be easily accessible or won't be accessible at all in free roam mode. But we've already seen there are item boxes scattered around the map in free roam mode. So we will at least be able to have the potential to get feathers, and maybe they'll even sneak specific individual items around the map. Like maybe there will always be a place where you can find a mega mushroom or a feather, and you'll always be able to go back to that place to get one. I've not seen any evidence of that yet. Maybe someone can let me know if you have. But that would be a cool, neat little way as well to make pulling off tricks and things like this, hanging out with your friends, more fun. Another thing that we've seen in the trailer, we just haven't seen used yet to my knowledge, are note blocks. Those are those white blocks that have a musical note on them. When you jump on those, traditionally in Mario games, it works like a springboard. They trampoline you into the air. And that's going to be another cool way, I imagine, that we'll be able to get higher up in the air. Imagine if you jump on one of those and your paraglider just pops out in that moment and you get to kind of sail around a little bit more. Wishful thinking, of course, but that could be something that happens. When Alana and I were playing in New York a few weeks ago, we got to explore the free roam mode a little bit, and we had so much fun just driving off in the distance. I remember Alana found a dragon at one point in the water. I found a bunch of Goombas just hanging hanging out and floaties. And from that and everything we've seen in the trailer, it feels like Nintendo's putting a lot of attention into the world and making it a fun place to explore. It's really deserving of the world name. Another way that they could expand upon the exploration is by implementing that balloon hunt, balloon world mode that Luigi had in Super Mario Odyssey. If they brought something like that over to this game, imagine, I mean, time trials are going to be a lot of fun just based on the new moveset that we have in this game. But if you were able to go and sneak balloons around in this world, I think a lot of people would have a lot of fun just trying to break the game and see the crazy locations you can place these balloons. It really is like this is being built like a 3D Sonic game with the grind rails and the wall running. I know I've said that before, but like if you just swap Mario out for Sonic, what's the difference? Oh my gosh. And I know the mission structure seems quite simple so far. You know, we have P switches that'll allow you to collect blue coins, and there'll be like racing segments where your time trial segments where you have to race through these like checkpoint arches. There are hidden medallions all over the world, and there are these hidden panels which we don't really know what those do yet, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of incentives to explore the world fully and try out these new tools beyond just showing off to your friends like, hey, look, I'm all the way up on this cliff. Like, don't ask me how I got there, but I'm there, which I'm so excited to do that. Of course, I still don't feel like we got the justification we needed for the $80 price. And I really hope down the road that we don't see more expensive Switch 2 games, like the next Zelda game hopefully doesn't launch at $100 or $80 or whatever. Maybe Nintendo will continue to explain the $80 price down the road. Maybe there is a story mode coming. You know, we still are about 2 months out from launch, so there is time for Nintendo to show us more stuff, but the kind of elements that you would see in a 3D platformer being brought over into Mario Kart are really exciting to me. So what do you think? Should Mario Kart World be considered a 3D platformer and a racing game, or am I just crazy? Let me know. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, then why don't you Simon S. Salty Speedway your way to that subscribe button and then ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we put up new videos like this. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Zian from Nintendo Life. Stay safe out there, and we will see you all next time.